Welcome, it is Basit Idea here. In this channel, I upload videos on how I created my designs with Canva using my smartphone and also how to use some tools in Canva. I also upload videos on how to use some tools in Canva that can make your designs professional and creative. Once again, welcome to this channel. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. You are welcome once again. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I created this chocolate design. Let's go. So as usual, I am using Canva. So you can, if you are using the app, no problem, but I'm using the website using my smartphone. So the first thing I'm going to do is to click on the plus icon. I want to create from scratch. Then I'll click on what? Custom size here. This is custom size because I know the size of my design. So I used 3000 by 3000 pixels. So that was the exact size I used for the design. So the next thing, right, so you will click on the element. So I have the background in my recently used images. So it is here. So I'm just going to scroll up till I get it. So this is it here. I'll quickly show you the name of the background. So in case you want to replicate this design, so this is it here. Gradient something, gradient abstract coffee. Just search for it. You are going to get it. So the size of the background, so I want to just position it. So I'll be using this advancing position. So once I click on this position here, it is going to take me to exactly where I want to be positioned. Once I click on it and I scroll till I get to this advance and I input all the numbers that is here, it is going to position the image exactly how I positioned it in the first design. So let us do it. So for the width, I used what is it called? 5296.8, and for the height I used 3529, and for the X I used 1373.9, and for the Y I used minus 88.5. So that is the exact size that I used. So you can just quickly screenshot it in case you also want to use it. So I'm just going to drag it like this, you can see. So the next thing I'm going to do is to flip it upside down. So I'll click on this flip here. And flip it upside down. So flip vertical. So you can see how I did it now. So the next thing is to go to filter and then use what? And then use fresco. So I'm going to use fresco. So I think we are done with the background. So the next thing for us to do now is to click on element and go and get our shape. So this is our shape here. So once we have our shape here already, so the next thing for me to do is to go to position and use the exact size that I used. So for the width of the shape, I used 1551.9 rather. 1551.9. For the height, I used 1935.9, and for the X I used 300, and for the Y I used 1248.5. So that was the exact size that we used for the shape. So the next thing for me to do is to change the color to white. So let me quickly show you the position, the numbers that I input in case you also want to replicate this design. Once you input all this number here, you are going to do what? You are going to place it exactly where it is positioned right now. So I'll just go to what? Go to style and give it that 100% curve. So the curve I use curve corner rounding. Instead of having sharp edges, it was 100. So you can see it now. So the next thing for us to do is to click on element again and get a shape again. So this shape is for the services, for the name of we sell something. So what I will do is to go to position, go to advanced and input numbers on all of the four things that need number. So what I'm going to do is what? For this one I use 341. No, for the width it was 1135.1. For the height, this is for the size of the shape, 203.203.4. For the X and Y is the position where I position it in the other design. So I have to have the number 4 09.1, and for the y is 1149.2. So it is going to position it for me now. You can see it has positioned it for me. So what I'll just do is to click on it, then go to corner style and give it that 100% corner random. The next thing I'm going to do is to go to the color and use the exact color that I used in the design. So this color I used was, what is it called? I used brown, and the color code was 341902. That was the exact color code that I used in case you also want to replicate this design. I'm coming. And so before we continue, let me firstly, instead of this background being white color, I'm going to give it a brown color. So I'm going to click on the background, click on color, and use that brown color that I used. This is the color code of the brown color that I used for the background color, 34 something. You can just screenshot it in case you also want to replicate this design. So after giving it that color, the next thing I want to do, I'm going to click on it and give it that color. So I'm just going to click on this image that I also used as the background and position it like this. I'll just go to position, go to align, click on middle and center, so it will be positioned like that. The next thing I have to do now is to scroll till I get to transparency and reduce the transparency of the background image. So I reduced it to 40. I used 40 for the background image, and this is exactly what we should be having. So the next thing for us to do now is to click on text and input our text. So Bola's chocolate, that's text Bola's chocolate. Bola's chocolate. So that is our text. So I'm just going to click on the text, then scroll till I get to format. Then I will use the left alignment. So I'm going to use the left alignment. I'm coming. What I have to do now is to go to spacing and reduce the spacing to 1.05. So I'm going to reduce the line spacing to 1.05. The next thing is to go to font and use more sugar. The font I use is called, the typeface I used was called more sugar, but I used the font regular more sugar. So it was regular more sugar that I used. This is the name of the typeface and this is the name of the font. So I'm just going to change it to regular. So the next thing I will do is to go to position and place it exactly where I placed it. Once I input the number, I'm going to be able to place it in the exact place I place it. So the first thing I will do is to change the size of the font I used was 242. Yes, I used 242. That is the font size, 242. So what I'll just do now is to go to position and go to this advanced here and input the exact size I used. So the exact size was 1661.8. and then what is this one called? Click on this one. Once I put the width there, it is going to give me the height automatically. But for the X is that position I placed it, 309.3, and what for the Y, it is 294, and it is going to place it at the exact place I placed it. You can see here. So let me just quickly show you the numbers again, so you can just screenshot it in case you also want to replicate it. This is it here. This is it in case you want to replicate it. So it is going to position it for you once you input all those numbers. So it is going to position it for you. So I'll just go to color and use white. So the next thing for me to do now is to go to text again, then click on add a heading and input we sell. So I'm just going to input we sell. You now see this we sell. I'm going to go to the font. The font I used for Whistle was Poppin. I used Poppin semi-bold for the Whistle, Poppin semi-bold. That was what I used. So I'll go to the font size. So the font size for this Whistle was 91.3, 91.3 in case you want to replicate this design. So I'll go to the spacing, and the letter spacing I used for it was 1.052. So I used 1.05. No, I'm sorry, I used 171 for the letter spacing, 171. So the next thing I'm going to do is to go to position, so that once I input the number, it is going to place it exactly where I want it to be. So let me quickly input the width. The width is 708.4 and the X is 6. So the x will help me position, the x and y will help me position it. 622.4 and the y is 1178.1. So that was the exact size that I used. You can see that it is going to position it for me. So let me just click on it again, click on editor and click on, I just want to add this column there. So the next thing for me to do is to go and get the text, the services, the first services. So what I'm going to do first is to go to font. I use a medium popping for these services. So I'm just going to click on the arrow of the popping. So I'm just going to click on medium. I'm going to drag it just to make it just 3 lines. The next thing I'm going to do is to go to this format here and click on the left alignment. So the next thing I'm going to do is to go to spacing, then use so I think there is no letter spacing for this. There's only line spacing. I use line spacing 1.05, but for the letter spacing remains 0. So that is the exact thing that we did here for the popping for the services. So I'm just going to go to position here, go to advanced and input and place it exactly where I want it to be. So once you input the numbers that is needed in this width, height, x and y, it is going to position it exactly where I positioned it in the first design I created. So I'm just going to input 580.8 and for the it is going to input the other one for me. So let me just click on this one. Okay, before I do that, let me firstly use the exact size that I used. So I'm just going to go to the font size and I used what is it called for this one. I used 66.2. 66.2 was the font size for it. So the next thing is to go to position, then go to advanced and input the exact size that I used, which is 580.8. So it is going to give me the other number. But for the x and y is the one that will position it once I input the number 309.3, and for the y it was 1459.7. You can just screenshot it in case you also want to replicate this design. So the next thing I want you to do is to do what we'll see where it positioned it. So the next thing I'm going to do is to do what? Go to format here and give it that 3 dot here. You can see I've given it that 3 dot. So it is going to position it exactly how I want it. So the next thing I'm going to do is to click on the text again and click on duplicate icon. Once I click on it, I'm going to click on edit. I've already copied the text I want to use. So I'm just going to double click on it like this. So I'm just going to input it. Let me just input that text, click on paste. So you see now I already have the text here. So the next thing I'm just going to do is to go to what position, go to advanced and input the exact number for this one too, which is what 886.6. so it is going to give me the other number. So for the x is 887 and for the y is 1459.7. so that is the exact size that I used for this one. I'm coming, let me just go to position again, go to advanced. Yes, this is the exact size. For the width of this one is 886.6, and for the so this is the exact size. You can just screenshot it in case you also want to replicate this design. So this is the exact size that I used. So let me just do it like this and give it that position. So you can see we already have it here already. So the next thing for us to do is to go to element and go and get a frame for our 3D images that we enclose in frame. So I'm just going to go to recently used and get the frame here. So this is the frame I used for them. So this is the exact frame that I used for them. So the first thing I'm going to do is to go to style and give it this corner rounding and border width. The border width is 10 and the corner rounding for the frame is also 10. So you can see we already have it like this. The next thing for me to do is to go to position, go to advanced and input the exact size and where I placed it. So once I input the size, so let me just quickly input it. For the first one is 397.3 and for the height is also what 397.3. for the x, which is the position 408.7, and for the y is 18930.4. so this is the exact size for this one. So you can see that we have it now already. So I'm just going to duplicate it again, then go to what position, go to advanced. Instead of me inputting this weight again, since I duplicated it, I'm just going to input the what is it called, the x and y for the position. So I'm just going to change the position, which is what, 877, and for the y is 18930.4. so it is going to position it for me. So I'm just going to click on duplicate again, and it is going to position the third one for me. So in case you also want to replicate it, so this is the position of the third one. So this is it. You can just screenshot it in case you want to replicate this design. For the second one, let me just click on it. So this is it in case you want to replicate the design. So this is it in case you want to replicate. You can just screenshot it. For the first one, this is it. You can just screenshot it in case you want to replicate this design. So the next thing we have to do now is to go to element again and input our image, the image that I use. So I'm just going to reduce its size a little bit and input it here. You can see we have it there. So the other one, I got it from Pinterest, and it is here in my upload, which is this sneakers and diary make. So I'm just going to do what, reduce its size like this, and do it like this, and put it here. It is its size, and I'll just put it here like this. So go to upload again, click on this one to reduce its size like this, reduce this one to like this. So I'm just going to curve it a little bit and drag it here, reduce its size too, and drag it there too. So that is exactly how I did it. So that was exactly how I did. So let me just click on this one, go to crop. Where is crop here? So I'll just click on crop, then drag it a little bit again like this, then click on turn. You can see, so this is exactly how it is going to be. So the next thing for us to do now is to now input our other contactors or something like that. I'm coming. So for our contact now, I'm going to click on text, then click on add a heading. I've already copied it. I'm just going to paste it here. So the next thing I'm going to do is to go to what is it called? So for this snake Maltesers or something, I use dark color, black color for the text. So the next thing is to go to font. Then I also use popping for this contact too. So I'm going to use the extra bold popping. The next thing is to go to the font size. So the font size I used for the contact was 63.5. It was what is it called, 63.5 was the exact size that I used. So the next thing for me to do is to go to position, then go to advanced, and position it. So once I input the number, it's going to position it for me. 1211.6 was the first one. And then I'll go to the X for the position placement. So it is 409.1, and for the Y it is 2609.2. so this is the exact size. So it is going to, you can see it has already positioned it for me here. So the next thing for me to do is to go and get our, so I'll just click on text, click on add a heading, and input our address. I've already copied it, and this is it here. You can just use any address if you're replicating this design. So the next thing I'm going to do is to go to font, then go to what, poppins, and use what, the extra bold tool for the extra bold popping. The next thing is to go to the font size and reduce it to what, 45. I used 45 for this one font size. 45 was the exact size that I used. So I'm just going to increase this one size because I want to make it 2 lines. So I'm just going to do it like this. So yes, I think it is okay like this. So I'm going to go to format and use the left alignment for this one. So I'm then going to go to font size again and use 45 as the font size. I'm going to use 45. Oh, I'm calling. Oh, I want it to be 2 lines. Yes, that is exactly what I want. I want it to be just 2 lines. So the next thing I'm going to do is to go to position, go to advanced, and use the exact size that I use 1211.3 for the height. It is going to give me the other one, and for the X I used 409.5, and for the Y I used 2609.2. So that was the exact size that I used for this one. So what I'm just going to do is to go to layer and click on the contact and move it up a little bit. I'm just going to move that one up a little bit. So move it up a little bit. Click on this address again, go to font size. I just want to use it like this. Okay, yes, I want to use 45. Yes, I want to use 45 and do it like this. I want that heading to be like this, then I'll then place it here. So but before I continue, I'm just going to click on this one, then place it here like this. I'm going to click on nudge, then move it like this. I want the position to be like this. I'm coming, let me just drag it like this, then into it like this. Okay, then go to what? I'll then go to font size, then use 63.5. 63.5. So that is exactly how I'm going to do it. Oh my god. I'm going to do it like this, then place it here. Look, I'm just going to use this size, okay? Left alignment, then go to font size again, then use 63.5. Yes, that is the exact size we want to use. Then I'm just going to do what? Place it here like this. Then go to address again, then place it like this. So this is exactly what I'm going to do. Go to font size again. So yes, I used 45 for the font size. So what I'm just going to do now is to move this one down a little bit. Okay. So I think it is set now. So the next thing is to go to element again, then get this chocolate something. So let me quickly show you the name of the chocolate. Go to info. So this is the name of the chocolate CANVA. So once you get it, so I'll just go to position, then go to advanced here and use the exact size. For the width, it is TD265.2. For the height, it is what is it called 2016.3, and for the x it is 1140.2, and for the y it is 2970, and for the rotate I use 69.5. So you can just screenshot it in case you also want to replicate this design. Yeah, I did not get my design. Oh. So this is exactly how I did it. So what I'm just going to do is to rotate it like this again. Just do it like this. Oh, this rotate of something won't make it good. That position, if I use the position, it is not going to make me get my exact design. So let me just do it like this. Let me just firstly delete it, then go to element again, get the design. So I'm just going to do it myself like this, then into, let me just go to position and use the rotate that I use, which is what, 69.5. So that is the exact rotate something that I use. So what I'm just going to do now is to just go to position and use 69.5 as the rotate something. So just rotate it. So just increase its size by yourself like this. Yes, just do it like this. You're going to get it right. Just do it like that. I think it is okay like this. Yes, it is okay. Just try and drag it a little bit, but not too much. Just do it like this. Yes, I think it is okay like this. Yes, this is the perfect size for it. Yes, it is okay like this. So let us just leave it like this. So I think it's okay like this. So the next thing for us to do is to go to flitter. You to just try and drag it and it will make sense. Just use first cool and go to adjust. Once you get to adjust, drag it till you get to this brightness. For the brightness, use 10. And for the contrast, use 10 too. For the contrast, to use 10. So we have it here ready. So the next thing for us to do is to go to the element again. Before I move on, let me quickly show you the name of this Nutella something. So let me quickly show you the name of the Nutella. Oh, it is loading. So just search for Nutella, you're going to see the huge Nutella. Just search for it, that is the name. So let me go to element again and get this one that I just placed here. So this one here. So what I'm just going to do is to reduce its size and go to position, go to advanced and input the exact size that I used here. So I use 850 for the width, for the height. Let us see if this one will work for us. Okay, and for the x I use minus 639, and for the y I used 2825, and for the rotate I used minus 71.6. Let us see if this one is going to work for us. Yeah, we just do it. So this one is not just working. So let us just go to element again and click on the image. So what I'm just going to do is to reduce its size, then go to what position, then just give it that rotate minus 71.6, and that is all. So I'm just going to position it myself, then click on it. I'm just going to position it like this myself. So yes, so I think it's looking like this. I'm just going to increase its size a little bit, but not too much, then drag it like this. Yes, I think it's okay like this. Yes, so this is perfect for us. I think we are now done. Anyways, I'm that designer that designs and makes money with Canva. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and also like this video, and let me know what you learned in the comment section. Expect more of this. You are welcome.